This program is part of the Pathological Nerdcasters Network. Find more at PNCN.rocks, where all the geeks come to play.
Hi, Brandon with Spaghetti and Meeples. Can you believe it's already been a month since GameStorm 18? All of us at the Pathological Nerdcasters Network were so worn out from the panel we did there that we took a month off at our shared tropical oasis. And we're at a point now where we do want to share the video with you. What you'll see here is part 1. Hope you enjoy it. It's a little lengthy for YouTube, but it's really short for a Ken Burns documentary. On the other hand, all of history is short compared to a Ken Burns documentary. Anyway, here's part 1. Hope you enjoy.
This program is part of the Pathological Nerdcasters Network. Find more at PNCN.rocks, where all the geeks come to play.
So thank you, everyone. Welcome to GameStorm 18. I am your host, TC. I am the creator and co-host of the Tattered Board podcast. Right here was my lovely wife, who does it with me, who's Carissa. Say hello.
Hello.
We have Andrew. Mayor, thank you.
I'm the host of the Level Up, the soon-to-be launched Level Up Design podcast, where I interview designers of all different types, not just game designers, but video game designers, board game designers, graphic designers, industrial designers, everybody talking about the process of design, what it takes to come up with an idea and actually have it in some form survive the process of development.
Sweet. We have Brandon of Spaghetti and Meeples.
Yeah, we do video, we do podcasts, we do written reviews, and if you have questions or answer a question, I might throw something at your head.
And finally, we have Jason, my good friend Jason Hancock of the Docking Bay 94 podcast.
Thank you. Welcome. Yes, my co-host lives in Arizona, so he is not here, but I am one half of the Docking Bay 94 podcast. We have two different formats. The main format is we have different industrialists from the board game industry, whether it's podcasters, bloggers, designers, publishers, all across the realm talking about why they do it, how they do it, kind of the creative side, and how to get from point A to point B and on. And then our other one's just short, me and Watch talking about games that we played and Kickstarter, so on and so forth.
Tell them about our network.
Our network. Well, there's we've got 4 video loggers now, a couple podcasts, some bloggers. We're just slowly kind of building a network so we can all help kind of cross-promote each other and have a good area to come. Not just board games, but kind of all across the gig culture is what we're looking for.
And if anybody's interested in contributing to our network, please get a hold of me. We're always looking for contributors, reviewers. We got What Did You Play This Week podcasting all the way from, where are they from?
I think Ohio?
Yeah, somewhere that way.
Somewhere in the middle of nowhere.
We've got Shadows and Meeples, is that what they call them? Watch games we got on.
Games, yes.
And so we're always looking for contributors. If you want to contribute, we'd love to have you on. We just started this November and it's really taken off and is a lot of fun. Yes. And I don't know why you went with my name suggestion. I was at work with the doctor.
I told them you're not part of the network, so that's why.
Yeah, that might really help, Jason. That might really help. So we're just going to introduce some people, get them going. So the first group I want to bring up is our podcast people. So Richard, get on up here. Mike, Eric, come on up here. Yes.
While they're making their way to the stage, I just want to thank each and every one of you for being here, because I woke up in a cold sweat in the middle of the night going, there's going to be one person. One person in the audience. I've done that before.
I would have made it awesome.
It's its own kind of awesome, right? It's its own kind of awesome. But thank you all, honestly, for being here. I appreciate it.
Yes.
We all do.
Yeah, thank you all very much. So this is our group. We are the Tattered Board Podcast. We are a conversational style podcast. Me, Carissa, and Mike got together. We were like, let's just do a podcast and see what it's like. And it's actually taken off. We have a lot of fun. You can find us on tatteredboard.com. You can find us on the PNCN.rocks network. And we're on iTunes. And we are always...
Fancy.
Fancy? Yeah, fancy. I'll tell you what kind of nightmare that was to get together. Goodness, that's a mess. We typically like to talk to people in their favorite games. That's what we're called the tattered board, because I really enjoy when people bring out a game and it's just tore to pieces. And I know that people really enjoy it, they know how to play it, and to learn that type of a game from someone is an awesome, awesome experience. So we typically like to have people on our podcast just to talk about their favorite games. Sometimes we do interviews. We like having your local designers up. We had Joey up from North Games. It's a lot of fun. But we'd like to announce our new member. We have Eric Rasmussen.
Hello.
Yeah. We have Richard.
Hi.
And while you guys are up here, I want you to talk a little bit about Circus Maximus. This was the most amazing thing I've seen at GameStorm. This has been nuts.
Yeah, so 5 years ago, Seth Howard brought this copy of Circus Maximus that he has modified. Circus Maximus is a game from the 70s, Avalon Hill, chariot racing, basically think Ben-Hur. But what Seth did is he took what amounts to a tablecloth, a tight canvas, oh, there we go, and he made this board, he just enlarged the board, and he got miniature chariots, 8 miniature chariots, 4 horses, the whole 9 yards. His wife painted them up in 8 different colors, and he runs this giant game. And we stumbled into it 8 years ago. He just set it up for the first time and just was trying to get anybody interested. It was a lot of fun. And then we had him bring it back and sign-ups, and it's gotten more and more popular every year. So it took like an hour for all 8 slots to fill up this year, and more people want to run it. So it's just really, really cool. There's dice rolls and there's critical charts and things like that, but he runs it pretty smoothly. There's a lot of trash talking, which is perfect for it. But everybody has a great, great time. But it's really, for me, the highlight of GameStorm.
So how did you fare, Eric?
I finished 7. Out of 8. I was front running, but that's usually a bad situation. So, yeah, I've now done this 5 years in a row, but it's a lot of fun.
And before you briefly tell them how you trampled someone who was winning. This is the most amazing story, guys. This is great.
Yeah, so my one victory in this game came about 3 years ago, and my friend and I were in these light chariots. We were out in front, everything was great, and he had flipped coming out of a corner, and it was just completely destroyed. But just because you flipped your chariot doesn't mean your driver actually dies. He's still being drugged by the horses. And they just continue to run in the straight line. Well, we hadn't really thought about it because we figured he'd die because you take damage every turn. And we get right to the end of the game, and just before his horses go to cross the line, I asked Seth, is he still alive? And if he is, does he win? Seth said, yeah. So the only thing I could do was hope that my color came up before his color, and if it did, which it did, I could run my horses across him a couple of times and kill him, which it did. So it was great because he had left the game. He had been gone for like 20 minutes off finding food or whatever, but he was winning and he didn't even know it. It was great.
So my group, is there any GameStorm experience you want to talk about? Anything you've played, want to talk about briefly that we can yak about? Who wants to be next?
Don't even bring up Dark Moon.
I wasn't going to talk about that. I was going to go with First and Goal.
Okay.
Because in this game, it's a football game, and it's the board is magnetized, and it looks exactly like a football field. So it's all laid out as hash marks and all this stuff, so you have to do the math in your head to figure out, okay, if I'm on the 35-yard line and I punted it for 42 yards, how far did the ball go? Where do I put the ball on the field? That type of thing. You roll dice to get your yardage and that type, and whenever you are on offense, you have a special die that you have to roll.
You had to roll dice.
I had to roll dice.
In a football game.
This is something.
It's like a double whammy
It's like
for
a
you.
double whammy for
You're a
me.
Cowboys fan, man.
Romo was in the game. He was in the game because on the special play die.
Before or after injury, Roman?
Yes. During. We injured him in the game. He kept playing. You roll this special die. If it comes up with a T, on that, then you have to roll the referee die. If the referee die also comes up with a T, you fumbled the ball and the other side recovered. So you look at that thinking, I've got to roll a T on 2 separate dice. It's, okay, it could happen, but the odds of that happening, 4 times in a row. I did it, TC did it, I did it, TC did it. It was amazing. We decided we were probably playing high school football in winter.
I was gonna go with the Browns.
The Browns would have done better than what we were doing. But we had a blast.
Yeah.
Like yelling at each other and just rolling dice and going, stupid game, throwing cards. It was pretty fun.
How about you guys? Anything you get? I know you're only here for one day.
Yeah, I actually had the chance. I was walking around and I happened to run upstairs just as kind of some kind of indie games were going on, and I ended up playing one game called Monster Draft. And what the game is, it's kind of like you're DMing almost a Dungeons and Dragons game, but you're also playing at the exact same time. So this was created by a guy named John. He's Johnzo at johnzo.com. And the game sets up where you create kind of this world. You've got kind of like 3 hexes on top, 4 in the middle, and 3 on bottom. And each of us kind of take a corner. So we create a world where we'll have one of our characters living in the world. And there's a set of cards where you can kind of help create this, create the characters that are in your world or the place where you're at. So for instance, I ended up creating a bog of ruin that was home to a bunch of feral androids. So at one point I had one of the guys end up there. He was kind of this ethereal being, like almost like a living brain. He ended up eating one of the androids and being hunted down by the pack. Eventually he took that android that he ate and turned everyone else into his slaves. So that's kind of where I left off in my world. But in another part of the game, I was a kind of a rat thing that befriended these kind of leprous tropical bite fishermen, and ended up flash frying a giant dire turtle and causing this angelic mariner to lose consciousness. So it was an interesting game, and definitely one you might want to check out if you're still here at GameStorm.
I'm on whatever you're on.
It was amazing.
Are there rules to this game, or is it just
There are rules to the game.
Because it sounds like something that my 6-year-old plays out at recess.
You know, it's kind of whatever comes up on the cards. I mean, you can create something a little more cohesive, but at the same time, just kind of letting it go like that was kind of an awesome experience.
Oh, I got here late, so I managed to get 1 game in before this panel, and so I played 7 Wonders. I don't think anything else needs to be said. So it was fun.
Did you win?
No, I did not. I came in second to last, but our point spread was like the top point was 54 and the last place was 50, so we were all like right there, and we all had different strategies, and it was fun. It's nice to play that game. I think that's the first time I've played that game in a long time without having to teach it to anybody. We all were familiar with it, so it was just like going, and we're talking, and
did you play all the expansions or just basic?
we just did the base for this one. We just wanted to get in a quick game and not have to do a learning curve. I hadn't played any of the expansions yet, so sadly. It was fun.
Awesome. So how about you guys? Let's have everyone up here. How about you, Andrew? What have you played that you really enjoyed?
Well, I played Dune last night. With someone here, with Chase, who was in the audience here, and Ryan Spengler, who's doing Soul Last Days of a Star. So that was pretty fun, and he just kind of dragged me in. And I'd never played before, which is not the best way to play Dune. But I learned a lot and had a really good time. And
So you're saying you don't ever want to play it the first time?
I don't ever want to play it for the first time again. And then we had a really interesting. So we did this whole thing. We played the whole game, and then
Bene Gesserit.
Yeah, I'm gonna tell you that story. So yeah, the Emperor won the game on the last turn basically because of all the crazy crap that happens in Dune, and then the Bene Gesserit just threw out the card and had nailed both who won and what turn and took the game.
Wow.
She predicted it to took it.
Yeah,
wow.
the psychic power. So
That's
that
amazing.
was pretty insane. Oh, and but everything happened. The last pistol meets shield, destructo combat, and actually on the first turn I ended up the Fremen came at me and I ended up having their traitor card in my hand. And boy, that I think took a little of the fight out of the Fremen to lose their top hero and all their dudes in the first turn.
Nice. So, where's the print and play guy? Raise your hand. Dune, as everyone knows, is tremendously out of print because you can't get the license anymore to publish it. Talk to this guy; he can get you a copy. Because I want it, and I talked to him. I want Dune. I want Dune. Okay.
Yeah, and it's beautiful. It was a really beautiful set.
I've been up there, and it's
felt great.
I was eyeing it when I was doing our prototyping up there at Print and Play. It's like, no, must, no, can't. We'll pose it.
Okay, Brendan, anything you played you want to talk about?
Yeah, but first I wanted to ask anyone who's played Rex and Dune and how they compare.
I've played Rex, but I haven't played Dune.
Has anyone played both? No one? Because that's what I keep hearing is that if you can't get a hold of Dune, go ahead and get a hold of Rex. So, no? All right. I'll have to do it myself.
I want to promote my friend.
No, I have to get the copy of Dune, and then I have to get a copy of Rex, and then I have to play the both, and then I have to report.
Purity, man.
Yeah. All right.
TC is always up for Gamer X. That game lives in our trunk because it's always on the road with him.
Is it here today?
Yes.
All right. I know what we're doing later then.
Awesome.
And you and I, we're gonna connect too. Actually, I have two that I want to share. One, I'm actually gonna let Jason share.
I usually go with Dark Moon. Yeah,
we all stayed up.
We played Dark Moon.
Mike, TC, Jason, and myself stayed up playing Dark Moon pretty late last night, and I'd never played it before, and I'd never played Battlestar
Don't
before.
think any of us has played Dark Moon before.
No, but you guys had at least played Battlestar, so you had
Mike
sort
taught
of
us.
an idea of it. The thing for me is that my favorite part of the game is watching somebody roll their dice and then the look that comes over their face. If you've ever played it, the dice are behind a little partition so that the rest of the players can't see what's going on, and the person has to roll a good roll, and they roll their dice and they look down and they go.
The expressions were amazing. This one's going.
What's the premise of the game?
I don't really care. honestly, it's like basically, there's a betrayal. There's a traitor amongst your midst trying to sabotage your ship so that you die from radiation. Which I knew, by the way, from the start. That it was
Right.
They didn't believe me, but I knew. But yeah, for me, the gameplay's okay, but really it was more the interaction and the seeing people's reactions to other people playing and their own roles that I really liked. But yeah, that's what I like. The other one I do want to share is last year was actually our first year as Spaghetti and Meeples here at GameStorm when it was Garage Storm. And I keep telling everybody that I miss the garage. I really, really miss the garage. But also because that was the first time I played Stone Age. How many people have played Stone Age? A few of you.
Yay.
So, it was a really interesting playing experience because there's that part where I just need to eat. I just need to eat. Okay, I can eat now. Now I need stone. Okay, I need stone. Okay, I can eat, and I have stone. I can build things. I need gold now. And it was really fun to play and have those realizations because as you play it, there are those sort of 3 stages where you're getting your basic needs met, and then you can sort of like save up enough to get something else, and you can save up to get something else, and then you have 100 board games in your house, and you're hosting a podcast and you don't know what happened. But I don't know if what you have.
What?
Yeah, but you can make them eat wood.
What?
Yeah, that's
everyone has to do is just eat some wood, dudes. You're happy.
Or gold or stone. You run out of food, eat some rock. No, that's great.
So we played Concordia. I think all 3 of our first
Yes.
time, right?
You guys.
That's right. You took off. So, which was a lot of fun. I liked it. It had some neat mechanics. The only thing I don't like about it is not having any idea of what the score is, because you literally don't score anything till the end of the game. And I'd have to play it again. I'm not sure I'm a huge fan of that. I like to at least have an idea of where you're at through the game. But I like the trading mechanic. It was a little bit different than most games, with the movement being based on how many people you actually have on the board. The more people you have, the more you can move, or the more spaces you can move. in the flipping of certain tiles that have different resources, cloth, wine, there's like 6 of them. And you can get that, but that will also help other people that are built houses in the area get stuff also. So a little bit of that give and take of, do I really need that, and do I need it worse than they need it, you know, type of thing. So, but it was fun. The scoring thing, I'd have to play it again.
Yeah, that was nice. It's one of those Euro games. It was a 4-page rulebook, guys. 4 pages. Like, that's it. And we played it. You know, it was really elegant. I think we discussed it being an elegant game, and it was a lot of fun. I highly recommend Concordia. It was really cool. Really cool.
If you haven't played it, there's a guy, Dean. What's his name, Dean?
I think so, yeah.
He has a black backpack, a black jacket. He has
That narrows it down to most people.
the expansion in his backpack. Look at his badge. He will sit down and he will teach you this
Yeah, we
game.
pulled him in. He taught it to us.
Yeah.
Of course he destroyed us.
Yeah.
It's his favorite game, right? But that's okay. Okay, well, thank you for being up here, gentlemen. I think we'll start getting our guests up here to talk. The first one I'm going to get up here is Mitz. I think it's very important. She is a part of hospitality here at GameStorm, and I think these people get little to no recognition. So talk a little bit about hospitality, because I was looking for volunteers, and this isn't, it's okay.
Hi, I'm Miz.
Hello.
I work in hospitality.
Does it fill you with joy? Yes, it does.
Yes, you enjoy working?
Actually, yeah, I really do enjoy working in hospitality because apparently that's where I live. I haven't seen the light of day. What day is today?
It is Saturday.
Crap, I need to sleep.
So how do people, if they want to help, how do they get a hold of you guys?
You walk into hospitality, you say, hey, Miz, I want to help, and I'll be all like, do my dishes. No, but for serious, I've been doing this convention now for 4 years. I've never attended. I just found out yesterday there are games at this convention. I didn't know that. I spend about 2 months prepping for this. I spend a month going over the menu and going, no, they won't like that. No, they won't like that. Oh, they might like, no, they won't like that. Meat and cheese! I don't know why I agonize over this.
You guys put out an incredible spread. It's really amazing. And I always take donations, so feel free. If you go eat there, throw a few bucks in, guys. Really important.
Very important, because without the donations, I cannot run hospitality. So other than that, I wanted to give a shout out to my team, because I cannot do it without them, because without my second to be able to keep the house from burning down, I wouldn't be able to be here to do this podcast. I didn't know there were podcasts.
Weird, a lot of people don't know we're out there.
It was very exciting. I'm going to tell people. Other than that, hospitality has been really great for me. I got literally conned into it by Con Mom. 1 year, they gave a shout out, it was my first con here, and I had an 8, and so the first place that I went to was hospitality. And Con Mom was sitting in the corner crying because she's the only one there. And I was like, wait, I'll help. That was a mistake. No, but in all honesty, I love being able to serve. I love being able to see the happy faces that come through. A couple of people that come through playing games, and I ruined it. I picked the card and made them lose. Didn't know there were games at this con. My staff finally did get to sit down last night, and we played Killer Bunnies for the first time, which is an extremely interesting and fun game. It was definitely a crazy game. I did not win the magic carrot. I got all but 1 carrot, and of course the 1 carrot was the one that was not mine. It was very sad. But Killer Bunnies ended up being really fun.
Awesome, so that's the one game you played here you enjoy.
Yeah, well actually no, I got to play Are You a Werewolf last night, which I highly recommend everybody plays. My 10-year-old, this is his first convention, and he goes, Mom, did you know there are games at this con?
It's gonna be a running motif here.
It is, it's a running motif, I didn't know. But my 10-year-old was like, Mom, we have to play a game together, we have to play a game together. And I was like, there's no way that I'm getting out of hospitality except to go and make another store run. So finally my 10-year-old was like, please Mom, let's go play a game. And I was like, okay, what's running right now? The only game that runs at midnight is Are You a Werewolf? Okay. So we played Are You a Werewolf? It was super fun. I highly recommend that everybody at least take one midnight, stay up a little bit, go play. It's a LARP. You get to be a werewolf or not.
Hey, well, thank you very much for coming up and yakking with us. Anyway, again, support hospitality. Awesome. So who's up here with PDXH? That's you. All right. Our next guest. Matt, thank you. I'm great with names. It's awesome. I'm hosting.
Well, you've been through the whole, we had some contests we won and some winners and like a whole month of you mispronouncing this poor guy's name.
Oh, yeah.
Awesome.
The demon guy? Yeah, that was great. I'm not a demon. Oh, okay, suppose. So over here to my right, we have Matt from PDX Games, which is another convention type thing. I brought him up to talk about it. So please, what is PDXH?
Portland Analog Gaming Event. So basically we're a tabletop event, 500 people strong. The first year we had 150, second year we had 300. This year we're on pace for 500, which is pretty rapid growth. What else? It's all tabletop. So I say Euro games, but I don't, there's basically if it has a box, it's played. There, how about that? Then in the back we have, and we put them in the back, D&D and Pathfinder. They're back there in their little caves. With +4 agility and stuff. Yeah, that's what Age is. PDX Age was started by my wife and I. Games are just kind of a hobby. They're an offshoot of our other hobby, which is computer gaming. We also run a computer gaming event here in Portland for the last 14 years. It's 550 people strong. Sells out in about 4 minutes. We do it 6 times a year. So PC gaming is my other passion. But board gaming is definitely resurging big time.
And there's a discount if you register now?
Oh yeah, there's GameStorm.
Promotion!
I don't know the code though.
Oh, well, I know it's 15% off.
It's GameStorm.
It's not tattered.
Just try different things. Just try different things, you know? Inner stuff, one of them's bound to work. Or you'll break the web code. That could be happen too, that'd be fun. You know, I can tell that we're in a room though that's not with many computer people because the guy on the left way over here has his phone on top of a speaker and I'm like, oh man, I would never do that. So, magnets, So, anyway, I've been thinking about like, okay, so you asked, what game have I played that I've enjoyed a lot?
Yeah, what game have you played that you enjoyed?
And I'm sitting here and I've spun through like 5 or 6 different games. And then I realized that it's not necessarily what game I played, but who I played with.
Very important, yes indeed.
And I think that who you play with is basically what makes a game fun. I was talking to a friend, Angel, and she was like, hey Matt, you and I could play 52 card pickup and we could make it fun. And we definitely could. You know, you take some alcohol and you'd have lots of fun. 52 card pickup. But the point is, any game can be fun. Games that have been humorous lately, Kittens in a Blender. If you haven't tried that, basically 4 people, you all have your kittens, you're trying to protect them and get them on the counter, not in the blender. Opponents can hit blend at any time and you can make kitten soup, it's great. And all the cats are appropriately named like Fluffy and you know, things like that, so I killed Fluffy. Game that I've been really enjoying that gets a lot of crap is Pandemic Legacy. Because of its replayability. People are upset about that. My group of 4 that have been playing it, we're halfway through. We've gotten 8 games out of it so far, and they have been a blast. The storyline is great. I don't want to spoil it, but the cool thing is you do get to name your diseases.
How far have you gone into it?
I'm in June. So, you know, things are roaming. So naming your disease is fun. So the black disease is named Isis, because it's, you know, in the Middle East. Yeah, right. And then blue is great, it's affluenza. Yellow is banana fever. And red, well, we can't name it. So, but yeah.
We have yellow drip.
Yellow drip.
We also have concrud. Our first disease started in Essen.
You know, yeah, land plague. Con plague, you bet. That's a big one. So yeah, that's it.
Thank you very much. Next, we've got Weird City Games. We've got Tim and Ryan, old friends of the podcast. Well, I guess old 2 years old. We ran into them last year with March of the Ants, which was our favorite game from last year at the con. So introduce yourselves, please.
My name is Tim Eisner, and I live in Portland here. I started this company, Weird City Games, because I wanted to make a board game. And my good friend Ryan.
I'm Ryan Swisher. I do the game design and some of the art, and I always tell people he's the tall one, I'm the short one. And today, someone told me I'm actually the one with the hats, not the short one.
So what do you got coming up?
We're actually working on an expansion for March of the Ants. We had a successful Kickstarter 2 years ago, and we've now sold out of all the copies of the base game. And we're working on expansion to expand the game a little bit. So that's coming out. We're going to do Kickstarter in May for that one.
And it's really the Meeple expansion. It brings 8 ant-shaped units, which people really wanted in the Kickstarter. So
Nice. What happened to Little Pig?
Yeah.
Oh man, let me tell you about
Little Pig was awesome, and it went away.
So my second attempted Kickstarter was for a game I designed called Little Pig, where each player is playing one of the little pigs, trying to build 3 houses before the other pigs do. You got to send the wolf after other pigs to stop them. I did a Kickstarter for that in September of last year, and it was unsuccessful. So I'm retooling it, looking at trying to submit it to some publishers, and we'll probably do a Kickstarter next fall if I don't find somebody who wants to publish it for me.
So what have you been playing up here, besides teaching, obviously, this expansion to March of the Ants?
Yesterday we played Zaya, or Shia, however you want to say it.
I immediately wanted to play it again.
Want to play it again. We also played Castles of Mad King Ludwig, which I played for the first time, which I thought was really fun.
I dreamt about it. Like, I literally dreamt I was in my castle. It was a late night.
Most nights are here when you game.
And that's my fish! The awesome penguin game.
Yeah.
So I have to ask, I saw you last night in a costume. What was up with that? It's like it's Tim. He looks different. What's up with
So, I have a moniker named as the Red Wizard. Is another, I spin fire and juggle and do some other circusy stuff, and so sometimes I wear a wizard cape and dress up as that person.
Oh, okay. And he's got some literal fire tricks. They're awesome.
Do you spin fire in a cape?
No.
Okay. I'm glad to hear it.
I want to try now.
As a former safety person, I recommend it.
So you're gonna be demoing it anymore up here?
All the scheduled demos are done, but I think I'm going to try and get some impromptu sessions for tomorrow morning, either at 10 or noon tomorrow. So if you're interested, we've got 3 copies, so we can get as many people in as possible. Just find me and I'll get you on the list. Would love to teach it to as many people as possible.
And we're just loving the feedback. Like every other version of this game, all of the feedback we've gotten at GameStorm has really shaped the game. So thank you everyone who's played with us this weekend.
And you had another game you were working on.
We got Dungeon Hustle, we got Human Migration, we got Space Miner Council.
Nice. So yeah, be sure to check these guys out. They're really good. Their games are really fun. And thank you for coming up.
Awesome.
Thank you.
We'll get together. Okay, Joey and Drew, come on up. You're doing this one because you met these people. This is yours.
So yeah, this is Joey and Tim with Gnort Games.
Steve, not Tim.
Oh, Steve, sorry. This is Joey and Steve from Gnort Games.
TC just crossed off his name.
Yeah. So I met these guys I met Joey out at
Komura-con.
Not here, the other hotel. The other hotel that is not here.
Red Lion?
Yeah, Red Lion. Yeah, we're sitting watching Pokemon for way too long. He's like, hey, you want to try a game? I'm like, sure, I'll try a game. So yeah, they came out, we're on our podcast, and then been working on Kickstartering their game, but you guys can talk about it because you're better at that.
Sure. Well, we launched our Kickstarter at Wizard World. We actually had a booth at Wizard World, and we're doing demos all weekend long. We must have done 250 demos of our game, which was fantastic.
At least at a certain point, you kind of lose track. It's like, oh, there's no one here. Hey, you, come over here.
So that was great. It's currently running. It runs actually until tomorrow at 8 o'clock. So if you want to check it out, it's Field Tactics. Nitra's Veil is the name of the game. It's by Gnork Games. That's Gnork.
Yeah, this ended up being Chris's one of her top games last year because she got to play it at KimuraCon. And they guys went up here and we got to play it. It was a lot of fun. It was really good. I don't know what to say about it. I mean, it was a lot of fun.
You were bitter at first because Carissa gave it a top 5 and you had never even seen it.
Yeah, I was like, what, it's top 5? What the heck? I didn't even play this. It was no. You know, like, that's great. I didn't even talk about it. Exclusive content. It's nice.
It was really odd because when we were playing the 4-player version here, and I was watching these two on the same side here, and they're like, this is, whoa. They didn't know how exactly to behave because apparently they're always adversarial here. So it's like you put them on the same side of the board, working towards a common goal, and they're like, how does this work? What are we supposed to be doing here?
Yeah, it was interesting because it took me one game to play it, and then me and you went at it, and we just drug that thing out forever. It was really interesting.
I think you and I took it to the upper echelons of what you can possibly do in the game without somebody finally winning. I mean, when you take a game that is magic meets chess is basically the way that people describe this thing, and it's strategy packed, and we exhausted our brains. I think I heard gears break in both of our heads at that point in time.
Is your campaign still going?
We are live until tomorrow at 8 p.m. So.
And if this doesn't go through, how are you going to be able to play your game?
Well, we have a plan for that as well. So if things don't be successful, which we're naturally going to be blaming everybody else for that. It's not our fault by any means.
You can blame me.
So if it's not successful, our next plan is, the Kickstarter is to do a big print run by getting overseas printing done. So if that doesn't happen, we're going to try to like small scale it down and go for a smaller localized print run. Obviously it's more expensive to do so, but then our next plan is to hit Rose City Comic Con. We're going to get a booth again and then have the games physically there. That's what we discovered at the Wizard Worlds is people didn't transition to the Kickstarter as much as we wanted, so they actually wanted to buy the game on hand. So we're going to do that. We're going to have it available on hand after that.
What a thought. Who would have thought if you had something that people enjoyed, they wanted to buy it here and now and didn't want to wait? Who knew?
Weird. Do you have any other plans besides Field Tactics?
Yes, we have a couple of other games under design right now. Just kind of like game designers never stop developing. While we're playing another game, Cutthroat. I don't know if you guys have seen the wood board out there. Yeah, Cutthroat is awesome. It's like, oh, hey, this gives me a couple of ideas of what can be done here. So, and then we've got a space-based game that is under development. So, lots of different things.
Well, great. Are you going to be demoing Field Tactics here?
We will be doing demos this afternoon and evening, and then looks like we're also kind of on tap to, next stop is PDX Age here. We dropped our information with them. We're trying to get in contact, or trying to get all that ironed out, and then apparently there's something next weekend, Monkey something or other that
Monkey Comics Frankenstein.
Okay, Monkey Comics Frankenstein that we may be...
Okay.
Hey.
On my phone.
We seem to have like technical issues. Okay. So yeah, thanks for coming up. Looking forward to playing your game, and maybe we'll get that game of Rex in before we go.
Yeah, if you want to know more about Field Tactics, we did have the gang on our podcast a couple months ago, so you can look it up in our archives and hear more about it in detail and what we all thought about it.
So is Cody Miller here, the Zaya guy? Okay, so I can't talk about Zaya. We'll talk about briefly. Zaya is fantastic. You want to come up and talk about Zaya?
Yeah.
Come on up. Let's talk about some Zaya. Yay! So this is, I don't know your name. I know you do the print and play stuff.
So it's Chase.
Hey, Chase.
Hello. So yeah, I actually got to do a playtest earlier with Cody Miller. Not to switch from Zaya, but Zaya is a great game. It's a space exploration, really open-ended, and you're like building your ship, and then all of a sudden you like upgrade it and add new weapons, and it has this kind of cool, almost build your own adventure feel, which I really enjoyed about the game.
Actually, and you get your shirt and cardboard clothing that's Zaya based.
Nice. But yeah, I got to hang out with Cody and actually do a playtest of his. He's working on a new game. I don't know if it has a working title.
That surfing game?
Oh, he's got that one.
Okay.
That's not the one I played. That one looked cool. But this is really neat. The basic concept or idea is D&D in a box. I don't know how many of you out there are like the gamer. So whenever you get your friends over and you're like, hey, maybe we should try D&D campaign, they're like, great, run it. And you're like, ugh. I'm definitely that person in my group. Cody's that person in his group. And so the idea behind this is trying to get like a D&D in a box. So you can just open it up. No one has to be the game master. No one has to make these like long, in-depth campaigns. It's kind of the self-run thing. It was cool. You had all these different cards and like these different layouts, and we ran around. We played it for a couple hours, and it was a fantastic game. It was still early development, but a lot of fun.
Okay, and then before we get you off, talk about your company.
Yeah. Woo-hoo! Yeah, Freudian slip. So I work for Print Play. It was really fun to see the Weird City guys come up here, as well as the last guys who are up here, because I know them. They've been in our shop, and what we do is kind of threefold. First off, we make out-of-date games like Dune and other things where you can go on BGG or other places, get the file, send them to us, and we'll turn it into an actual physical game so you can play it. Second thing is the kind of the parts upgrade. We have those wood cubes, those metal coins, some of those other things. When you've got that great game that's just not quite there, some of us can get a little fancy pants, and so if you want some of those things to be kind of upped, or that old artwork and you want to replace it maybe with some Rex or old the movie artwork, certainly can do that. And then the third thing is the prototyping, where if you want to get your game out there, you want to get it played, you want to get those prototypes made and get it into people's hands, we do quite a bit of that.
All right, awesome. I've been hoping to get you up here to talk. So thanks for coming up.
Yeah.
Awesome. So we got some gentlemen who need a lead. Up there, let's get you up here so we can get you on the microphone.
As they're making their way up, Cody, also, there's a surfing game. Did anybody take a look at the surfing game? Yeah. That looks really cool, too.
Yeah, it does. I want to go demo it, but I'm busy.
He didn't have it. He was hoping to have the production.
Yeah, he doesn't have
it. He doesn't have the punch out doesn't actually punch out, so yeah, he was kind of bummed.
So Brandon, why don't you introduce these gentlemen to my right so we're just talking to them?
Actually, I think it'd be better if they introduce themselves because they need to get out of here.
Who are you? I noticed you're having a nice that shirt is from Clerks 2, right? Yeah, that's cool.
We're Bob and Dave. We're the Spirit of 77 guys.
Oh.
So tell us about
That's it. Thanks.
Thank you, GameStorm.
Good night.
Well, no, so the thing that actually TC and I were talking about this, as far as like if you had sort of like the elevator pitch to tell people about what you have going on.
Sure. Wouldn't you like to be the $6 million man driving to General Lee to go fight the baseball furies from the Warriors?
Yes.
That's our game.
Yay. Hell yeah.
Good night!
No, I have to say, my wife.
No, seriously, this is
Yeah,
a game
go
about
ahead.
70s action, TV, movies, characters, music. It lets you play Ziggy Stardust, it lets you play Jim Rockford, it lets you play Shaft. It has all the things that we like from 70s pop culture, and we've included it in one RPG. It's powered by the Apocalypse, and it's available, here's my pitch, Indie Press Revolution and Guardian Games, and also online from spirit77game.com. Yeah!
And yeah, I was actually just looking at it there. Highly recommend, pick it up, take a look at it. Just really well put together, good art in addition to everything else as well. So, very impressive.
It sounds like it's Quentin Tarantino, the board game.
That's funny that you say that, because when we did the Kickstarter campaign, we were first-time game designers, so we weren't 100% sure of what to put into our video for our Kickstarter, because it's an RPG, what do you do? So we actually acted out a parody of Pulp Fiction with the two of us wearing suits, with not unlike that, and going and interrupting a game of D&D, not unlike when they go in and shoot the guy in the beginning. And it actually did very well. A lot of people say, you can actually see the analytics and the statistics of how many people watch and finish the video, and we did really well. And so people would actually say to us when we would walk around cons, go, "Are you Bob and Dave?" Yeah, I love you guys!
Thank you.
Flush, and then you kind of go on about what you're doing. But yeah, it did very well.
Excellent. So, go ahead.
You guys working on anything else?
Ooh, yeah.
We got a few things going on.
We got a few things going on, and other supplements coming in, some other projects. So please check us out on the monkeyfunstudios.com.
Right.
Yeah.
So what game have you played here at the convention that you've really enjoyed?
We've been playing madly Sentinels of the Multiverse.
Yeah!
Did you guys get on the Kickstarter for that?
We're literally playing the board game while we're playing it on the iPad.
Did you get the, well, there's like a...
The final apocalypse, right?
Yeah.
I have a buddy who's super into that.
Oblivion?
Yeah.
Hi,
Yeah.
sorry I'm crashing your thing here to give you a giant pixel fish.
Yes!
All
right! Giant pixel fish!
Thank
you. Yeah, it's awesome.
Stranger.
Thank you, nice person.
We didn't plan that.
We're improv.
So when you backed it, I saw that that Kickstarter, they had like a $400 include everything.
We've been playing this weekend our buddy Jeff's big old box, and it's got stuff we didn't even know existed in there. By the way, hey, can we segue?
Segue away.
Although I had to run a game, so we got to head out. But
Actually, that gentleman over there is Jeff Combos from, Exile Game Studios from Hollow Earth Expedition. And he's doing a Kickstarter right now, and I'm actually going to, let him wave it around because he's our good buddy. And actually, come on up.
Bring it out.
Mr.
Glacier,
come on up. Yeah. And thank you guys for having us on, by the way.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys. Tell us about yourself.
Best opening act ever. I'm Jeff Combos. I'm the creator of Hollow Earth Expedition, the role-playing game. Take a look at that. I just brought a book just to show. It is essentially Indiana Jones meets Jurassic Park. I describe the game as it's about feeding Nazis to dinosaurs.
Oh, that is awesome.
It's actually been around for a long time. That's the soft cover that we did after we sold out the hardcover, and I've been really, really fortunate that it's had a very loyal fan base. So I've taken Hollow Earth to the surface world, and we've moved on to Mars. So kind of all the major flavors of pulp, right? So if you like John Carter, Flash Gordon, then that's kind of one piece of it. The Shadow, the Rocketeer's another piece, Tarzan, that kind of stuff. So we're doing a Kickstarter right now, Perils of Mars, which is a bunch of adventures for Mars. I mentioned those loyal fans. We funded in an hour and 45 minutes.
Nice.
Really talk about lucky. So we're just unlocked our 4th stretch goal just before I came down here. We're approaching 400% funding. 12 more days left.
Woo! Nice. Congratulations.
Yeah, that's great. So I actually just want to take a moment to thank all those people because I can't do what I do without them. And wow, are they great?
What else have you been playing?
So I introduced a couple of friends of mine to Sentinels of the Multiverse, which is
We're getting a lot of love around here.
Yeah, which I also backed on Kickstarter and love those guys. I've met them several times now, and I brought down my iPad, which I have not seen since. We literally had to get Bob to shut down the iPad so we could play the physical game, and then we needed to come here because there were games to run, and we kind of put a tarp over it so it would stay, and so we've been doing a lot of Sentinels.
Every time we talked about playing Sentinels, it's usually I play it on the iPad. Do you have the cards? Yeah, but I play it on the iPad.
Getting him to stop playing on the iPad to play with his friends was the trick.
And the iPad version's fun, but you have to play you're playing all the characters, right? So it doesn't have that sweet moment where somebody absolutely does not do the move that you want them to do and gives the game a whole new spin and it's going off in a direction.
Why did you do that?
But you had the power!
Well, thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you for coming up. Awesome. Hey, nice to meet you too. Let's bring Keith Baker up. Yeah. You may have heard of this guy. He did a D&D campaign called Oberon.
Oberon, technically.
Yeah. Kind of neat. I was like, ooh, that's cool. You designed a campaign for Wizards. Yay. So tell us about yourself.
Not much to say. I am one of the luckiest nerds alive.
Nice.
I would say just having that opportunity to create Eberron for Wizards of the Coast, which they got an open call, had 12,000 entries, and picked Eberron out of that.
Wow.
And so yes, I consider myself to be an amazingly lucky person. I've also made a game called Gloom
One of my daughter's favorite games, yes.
And now I have just started my own company, Together Studios, with my wife Jen, and we have our first game, Phoenix Dawn Command, coming out later this year. I like to say that it is basically the bastard child of Eberron and Gloom, and that it is a fantasy role-playing game, but it is card-driven, encourages storytelling, and you actually kind of want your character to die.
So I have to ask you, I noticed that Gloom got a Munchkin version. How does it feel to have a Munchkin version of your own game out there?
Well, I actually designed Munchkin Gloom, and it was a very interesting sort of question how we wanted to handle it, because they sort of approached us, and I'm like, oh, all right. And my initial idea was that you would play the monsters, and that this would be the sort of tragic story of the monsters who are constantly having their doors kicked in and their stuff taken. But as I started playtesting, I discovered it really, a lot of Munchkin is the sort of puns and stuff, and like the Wraith of Khan is funny once. It's not really something you want to tell a whole story about. And so instead I shifted it, and it is basically the story of the worst TPK ever, you know? And because everybody has stories about the worst thing, the worst time you roll the dice, and to me that's what Munchkin Gloom really is it's just role-playing tragedies. But it is kind of funny that it's a game about a parody of a different game.
Yeah, we really enjoyed them. You guys have any questions for him? We got that design.
Yeah, so Munchkin Gloom, does it have the ending rules condition? It sounds like it's about killing them off, because that's always been the big issue for me is the Munchkin ending, right, where everybody's killing off each other.
People do ask that, is it Munchkin with a Gloom flavor, or is it Gloom with Munchkin flavor? And it's Gloom with Munchkin flavor. So you have a party of adventurers, you are playing tragedies on them, and you want them to suffer miserably and die, while your opponents, you keep them alive and wealthy and happy. The sort of trick to it that makes it particularly Munchkin-y, aside from the subject matter, so you have things, we get to break the fourth wall a little, so you can plummet down a pit, or be munched on by a manticore, or something like that. But you can also date the designer, for example. And what makes it different from other Glooms, aside from that theme, is there's a little more of doing bad things to other people, because that's very much a Munchkin thing. So things that would normally be draw 2 cards when this good thing happens to you are draw 2 cards from the player to your left, just so someone is suffering out of this. And we also have events that trigger themselves, which captures a little bit of the sort of curse unpredictability of Munchkin.
Oh, very nice.
But it is interesting. I'm currently playing around with a science fiction version of Gloom. And it's mainly interesting to get things, because the whole drive of Gloom is storytelling. It's giving people a basis to tell stories. And so having things where people are familiar with the genre, the tropes, etc., makes that a lot easier for people.
Oh, very nice.
Nice. Do you want to ask any questions? Yeah.
What else have you been playing here at GameStorm?
So the new thing I played was, I want to say it's Valeria. It's
Valeria.
Yeah, and I never played that before. I've already ordered it. I couldn't find it here, or I would have just bought it right here. But yeah, I had a great time with that. And it reminded me a lot of Machikoro, but with the fantasy flavor, which I enjoyed. So other than that, I've been playtesting science fiction Gloom. There you go.
Okay. Well, maybe
Wait. Before you go, are you still playtesting it then?
Yeah.
All right. Excellent. We'll find you.
Excellent. All right.
Are you going to be running any demos, or Clip can run you down to play your Munchkin Gloom?
Unfortunately not. I was mainly doing it this morning. So yeah. But anyhow, you missed your chance.
We did. Never last. Okay. Well, thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you.